What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm just going to do a top-down analysis of Bitcoin, try and figure out where it's going, where the next draw might be. Yeah, and what I'm probably looking for in terms of a setup. Yeah, so let's dive straight into it. The last 2 months, we have been trading in this range for the most part. Not 2 months, actually. It's been like 4 months now. It's been since the end of February, almost. Again, these levels, they're not set in stone. They're arbitrary. Some people might have the range low to be a little lower, maybe, encompassing these 2 wicks as well. I like to draw it here because this seems to be the level with the most respect. You got to bounce here, 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 again over here. And then again, you could have range highs up here, but for me, I have them over here. Now, me personally, I prefer trading the range. That's the kind of situation that I tend to excel at. And so, I would say probably up until mid to late June, I was loving this range, right? It was so once you have your swing low set, you have got your swing high set, now you kind of have a framework to deal with, right? And so every time price comes towards that range high and gives you a reaction, you're going to be looking for shorts. And vice versa, right? Every time price comes back down to range lows and you get a reaction, you're going to be looking for longs. Now, if you compare this last leg down to all these other legs, rotating back and forth in the range, you're going to notice that this leg right here has been all the way up until these 2 red candles. It's been extremely choppy, right? You compare that to this, where price displaces higher, consolidates a little bit, displaces higher, right? Same thing here. We displace lower, consolidate, displace lower. You got a little bit of chop here, but then you continue displacing lower. Right, now you compare that to here, where you've got no real displacement. You've just got a really choppy grind lower until finally, in the final week of June, okay, you got that move down. So this, for me personally, was actually very difficult to trade. Just because you were getting wicks on both ends, right? And so some of the short or longs that I had here, I got stopped out multiple times. Just because we've had some crazy wicks in both directions. And this is why trading the daily range kind of helps, because it kind of helps you eliminate the noise, right? So for example, once you got a lower low made over here, then you know that this level is your resistance. Price comes up here, taps it, breaks down, right? So there's your short entry. Similarly, again, once we encompass these 2 candles and we trade lower, now that's your resistance, and bang, it comes back down. Right, and then finally you got this one right here, and really that's where the tap a couple days ago came in. But we'll talk about more about this candle a little later, actually. But yeah, this is why trading on the daily kind of helps, and I think I've been trying to time my entries a little too perfectly over the last few weeks or so, and I've been getting caught up in this chop. Yeah. But regardless, so another level that I've actually been watching really closely is if we zoom out. Actually, if we just go to the weekly time frame. Ooh, a little too much of a zoom out. This range right here, right? That was your final. That was your all-time high range from back in 2021. So if I just draw a volume profile there. Now, I have these levels marked out. It might not match perfectly because I took them from the daily. Yeah, so the value area high doesn't match perfectly, but that's because I zoomed into the daily and took these levels. So the more you zoom in, the more accurate your levels tend to be, right? So I'm going to get rid of that, but that's just to show you where these levels came from. And so these 3 levels, the value area low, point of control, and value area high, of that range has been respected phenomenally throughout this entire range. And so I'm going to get rid of this channel for now. Yeah, you can see, especially the point of control of the value area low, right? So this range low has actually come in right at value area low. and it's been lovely to trade. And so, you know, when you think about it, this right here on the 22nd of June, when we broke back down within this value area high, that should have been, you know, a clear short, right? Like, hey, we entered this range once again. We're likely going to go back down. If you miss that, then there was also the value area or the volume profile of this current range, right? And you see how there's the value area low at 63.4, and we, after breaking down, we retested it over here, and now we're breaking down again. This is actually very bearish for me, right? I don't. This is one of those things that I do not want to see at all, because that's actually what I would want to see up here, right? When price breaks up above the value area high, we want to come back and retest it as support and then break out, right? Instead, over here, what's happening is we got the same thing but in the other way. So we broke down, we're retesting, and now we're breaking down. Now, if this level, so this really is that last line of support, right? The lows that we made on the 1st of May. But if we're unable to hold that, and it's very possible that we get a swing failure pattern over here. So we wick down below this and then we reclaim, right? So something like this, right? So we could get something like that. But if this doesn't happen, then my next target, well, is going to be interesting, right? So let's take a look at a couple things here. So if I'm going to just draw the volume profile of this entire uptrend, right? So I think we started somewhere around here. This was when we hit 25. Let's try one from here. Yeah, you see that value area low of this overall range comes in with value area high of this. So we broke down. Really, we retested it. Oof. That would mean that we very likely come back here, right? This $52,000 level. It's really the next high volume node. But the point of control is coming all the way down here at 42,009. What happens if I pull this all the way back here? Okay, so we got the value area at 48. That's another key level right there, right? But what about that 2021 downtrend? So I had this level. This was actually the range that I had been watching during this entire rise up, right? And so this was, oh, sorry, not this. More like this one over here. Yeah, so we got, again, this is around $54,000. That's going to be a key region. We got the 0.382 coming in right there too. What happens if I right here? Well, and that's coming in at that $54,000 level. Yeah, so this pocket is going to be crucial, and for me right now is the magnet, right, for price. So if we do actually break down to this range, or we get a significant deviation to the downside, then this pocket right here, 52 to 54, matching in with this consolidation level from back in mid-February, that's going to be my next target. Right now, if we break down, then I'm looking at 48 next, right? And then we'll probably have to look at this range. Yeah, all the way down, 44 actually. So it's gonna, yeah. If we break down below here, then 52 to 54, that pocket, that's my next level, and then I'm looking at this as my next high time frame target. Right now, this isn't what I want to see. Ideally, what I want to see is this. So we actually have lost June lows right now. We're fighting to stay above it right here. So this was June lows. We wicked below it. Now, there's a very real possibility that we take out these lows as well, right, and get a swing failure pattern. But if we don't, if we come back and close above this, then for me, I want to potentially come back to see another test of June lows, 58.3. So let's say we come back, we close up 59, right? I want another wick down to the lows as a retest for me to potentially look for longs, right? So I want to see a loss of a low and a reclaim of a low. So it could be with this low right here, we could swing failure pattern this and then come back and reclaim it, or these June lows, right? Now, if you really want confirmation, we could wait for previous weeks are much higher. Yeah. You could just wait for the value area low of this range, right? But that's going to be all the way up at 63.5, and that would also probably be a shift in structure, right? So it's going to be interesting to watch. But right now, I want to see one of these lows reclaim for me to believe that there's some strength here, and we're not going to go all the way down to this pocket over here. But this right now, this is my magnet for price. And until there's some show of strength here, I have to believe that we're going to go lower, right? We've broken down from the range, we've retested that range, and now we're falling. It is also entirely possible that we swing failure this low, swing failure pattern this low, into that pocket and then get bought up, right? Either way, like however it happens, I want to see a low reclaimed so that I can look to go long, right? But if you're asking me if I'm looking for a short, I don't know. It feels a little late at this point. That's not to say that it can't drop lower, but I'm not entirely comfortable shorting here just because of the way I trade, which is that I'm a range trader, right? And so technically we are at the bottom of this range. So, I mean, the other possibility could be if we lost this low, then I would be looking for a retest, right? And a short position here to maybe tap this level down here. So that's a potential short that I could look for if we lose these lows. But if not, what I prefer is I want to see it lost and reclaimed so that I can actually go long and get another rotation to the upside of the range. But yeah, let's see what happens. But that's really what I'm looking at right now. I'm just going to let price develop a little more. I have been stopped out several times over the last couple of weeks. It is what it is. But I'm going to probably keep zoomed out on the 4-hour and on the daily to really keep a better perspective on price action right now, just because I don't want to get into the trap of revenge trading or trading because of a loss and being emotional about it. So I'm just going to stick to my plan and wait for one of it to develop, and then I'll enter my trade accordingly. So let's see what happens.